Hi again, we're back with this series of games that I'm playing, solo games of commands and colours, Napoleonics. As I said in the previous video, if you haven't watched that, go back and have a look at it as well. The way to play commands and colours very easily solo is just remove the first strike cards out of your hand. So we're not using those because they're used in the opponent's turn. This is the second scenario of the core box. This is the Roliça game, the scenario. This is the French second position. Basically, they've been pushed back towards the town of Roliça, and Arthur Wellesley is now attacking down these 4 gullies towards the French lines. French have not got a great force down there, not very strong, and there's quite a lot of allies up here, but as you may remember in the last game, the Allies got quite a battering very quickly. So let's see if they can even the score in this one and see if the Iron Duke can earn his title. So let's get on with the game. Rightio, the British are attacking. They're starting first, so they've got 6 cards. Let's have a look what we've got. We've got attack the right flank, counter attack, which is same as the last card the last player played. Cavalry charge, probe centre, short supply, and leadership. Short supply is probably not great at the moment because all it does is send a unit to the back, and the French are already there. Counter attack is no use at this point either. The cavalry card will order 4 or fewer cavalry units. There's only actually 2 on the board anyway under the British command, so that's probably a bit pointless to use in this first instance. Leadership, issue an order to all leaders. When a leader is attached to a unit, the unit is also ordered. So that would be to get some units moving forward, but 2 of my leaders aren't actually attached to units at this point, so I'm going to ignore that one. And we've got attack the right flank. We'll send 3 units forward. I think that's probably the better one. Probe centre is only going to send 2 units forward, I think, or activate 2 units. Yeah, I'm going to go with the attack right flank for the first British move. I think that's probably the best one. So we've got the light, Portuguese light. Unfortunately, these gullies are impassable, so we've got to come down these lines here basically, and I'm going to bring forward these guys and the Portuguese line infantry as well. When the light have moved 2 squares, they can't fire. Sorry, 2 hexes, they can't fire. These guys are out of range. They can only fire 2 hexes anyway. But their cavalry can move 3. 1, 2, 3. In this game, unlike the last Roliça game, there's no victory banners to be picked up on the board itself. You've got to destroy the enemy units, and they need to get 5. Both sides need to get 5 victory banners to win this game. So that's the first British move. Discard that card. We draw a new one. And like I said before, as it's solo, we don't look at it until it's their turn. So, the French go. Okay, let's see what the French have got. They've got bombard. Issue an order to 4 or fewer artillery units. They actually only have 1 anyway. It does give them an extra dice when they attack with that, but I'm going to hang on to that for a bit. Probe the right flank. Probe the left flank. Assault the right flank, or attack the right flank. Right flank, there's probably not much point using any of these at this point because there's nothing close by. So it's either using the bombard or the probe the left flank. I think I'm going to probe the left flank and issue orders to 2 units over here. One of which will be this light unit, one of which will be the line unit. They were going to fire into the Portuguese light infantry in there, so the light infantry get an extra dice. However, they're firing into woods, so we minus 1 dice. So let's see how many kills we get. Just 1 kill. It's not a bad start though. The line infantry don't get any bonuses for firing because they're French, so they minus 1 dice, so it becomes 3 because they're firing into the woods. So that's 2 kills and a retreat, but there's only 2 of those blocks left, so the French have already got themselves a victory banner straight in. And draw a new card. Right, so the Brits, let's see what we've got. We've got probe centre, 2 forward, leadership again, obviously, cavalry charge, counter-attack, short supply, and attack right flank. Well, we did use them on the right flank, so let's keep going, I think, with the right flank. For this one, this is order 3 units. So, light cavalry will get straight in. If these come round this side, I might be able to get to fire with the infantry as well. So let's see, 1, 2. And they will attack that light unit with their commander. And bring forward the line infantry. And they can fire up the hill. They're in range with the light infantry as well, so we can see what we can do with that. And we've got these guys, so let's just move these forward. There's no point putting them into the woods at this point because they don't need the cover. They're so far away from the French, so we brought those forward. Right, we'll fire first of all with the line infantry. They don't get any bonuses, they don't get any minuses. However, they half their number because they moved. And then they also -1 because they are firing uphill. So it's only 1 dice, but they've caused a casualty. So that's going to make it a little bit easier for the Portuguese cavalry, who are rolling 3 dice. Let me just 100% check that the light cavalry, yes, they only get, they just roll 1 dice per block, and there's only 3. Oh, sorry, re-roll that because they're fighting uphill. Oh, it's 2 kills though. So that's good going already. The French infantry get to fight back, but the cavalry, they can retire and from that attack, so they will do. So the French infantry need to roll a cavalry hit, otherwise nothing happens. So that's a infantry, nothing happens. So these will retire and reform over here. It's not bad actually, that's almost killed a unit straight away. And our next card. Right, let's see what the French can bring to this game. Probe right flank, assault the right flank, attack the right flank, it's all about the right flank, bombard, and then coordinated advance. Of these ones, I'm wondering if the bombard is probably the best one at this point. Don't want to waste that, because I don't really want them to be moving off the top of their hill, and I can't get these guys moving yet. Or I could. There's a couple of things I could. No, let's go with coordinated advance. I think this is probably the best one. So that means this light cavalry unit will move. They will go 1, 2, and attack the Portuguese light cavalry. So that's the one on the left flank. They've got 2 that they can use in the centre, so they will move their commander in with those guys. And then they will also 1, 2, 3 attack the Portuguese light cavalry as well there. And their last one they will use with their artillery, which is foot artillery, which should shoot, just check, 4 squares, rolling 1 dice. So that will fire at that British infantry unit. That's forced them to retreat, but they are supported, so they can ignore that flag. There was no other firing from those there. So we've just got the light cavalry skirmish over here. So we'll start with these ones. There are no additions or no subtractions here. This is just a normal fight. And that scored nothing. So they get to fight back. And they have killed 1 and also forced a retreat as well. Because the light cavalry can't retreat any further back, they've actually taken another hit. Ooh, nasty. But then we've also got the light cavalry here attacking. So they've actually killed one of the Portuguese light cavalry. They get to fight back though. And they've killed one of the French light cavalry. So actually the French came off much worse out of that one. Okay, back with Britain, with the Allies. So we've got cavalry charge, leadership, probe centre, counter-attack, short supply, and recon in force. And what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to use the counter-attack here, because that plays the same card that the French had just played. So basically it's that coordinated advance. So they will use one of their cavalry units to attack these guys. First up, that's going to be one unit on that side. Then they will also, in the centre, they will bring forward this light unit. If they'd stand up, obviously drunk on duty, that's a flogging offence. They can move too, so I'm going to bring them forward and not fight. So we'll just get them up so they're in range for next turn. And then we'll bring forward the unit without the leader in the centre. And then we can also get another unit over here moving. So let's bring forward this line unit here as well. So at least we started a basic advance. So there's no firing here, but the light cavalry are going to attack those. So they're rolling 2 dice. So that's 1 kill. It does mean the French get to attack back. They've also killed one as well. Ooh, I don't know where this fight is going to go. So that's them done. That's a British turnover. Right, back to the French. So still with the bombard, probe right flank, attack the right flank, assault the right flank, and cavalry charge, which is ordering an order to 4 or fewer cavalry units, and they get an extra dice in their fighting this turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that, because that might be able to finish off the Portuguese cavalry, but they're also going to attack the Portuguese infantry, who are not in square, so they will attack them on 4 dice. So let's go with this guy first of all. He's rolling 2 dice. So that's a retreat and an infantry kill, so they actually fall back. Cavalry can actually follow up and attack again, so they will. 2 artillery this time, but it means that the Portuguese get to fight back because they're still survivor, and that forces the French light to retreat. Okay, not as good as it could have been. Let's have a look at this cavalry attack here. So the light cavalry have killed 3 Portuguese line infantry. And that was close. That could have been a wipeout for the Portuguese. They get to attack back, but the cavalry are going to retreat and reform, so they can only roll a cavalry symbol. Doesn't count. So basically these will drop back 2 squares to back here. So not as good as I thought that was going to be, but I've got to try these things. Oh, I shouldn't have looked at that, but never mind. Right, let's see what the British can do now. So we've got our probe, we've got the short supply, still pretty useless. Reconning force, it's not so bad, that's reasonably useful. Cavalry charge, not so great. Leadership, middling. And assault left flank. That would get everybody on the left flank moving, but there's only 3 units really on the left flank. So I'm going to use the recon in force, because that might mean that we can... or should I? No, let's probe the centre. Everybody likes to probe a centre, so let's do that. So those guys are standing and they're going to fire. These guys are going to move forward and fire. And that's going to be my 2 in the centre. So these are firing uphill. So they half it because they moved, so they go straight down to a 2. Fire uphill, -1, so it's only rolling 1 dice. That's a retreat, but the French can ignore it because they're supported. But over here, we've got 5 units firing, and they also get on ranged fire +1, so 6. They're firing uphill, so -1, but that's still 5, so that's still a good number. And that's 2 kills. So that's half that unit done. It's not so bad, that. Not such a bad turn after all. Okay, back with the French. And we have the assault on the right flank. bombard, attack the right flank, probe the right flank, and scout the right flank. It's all on the right flank today. So, again, I don't really want them to move forward if we can avoid it. And the British are just out of range of the rifles, but we do have the artillery. So, I'm going to use the bombard. I'm going to get rid of that. This is probably the time to do it. And he's going to order the artillery to fire. It gets 2 extra dice, and firing at a range of 2, it starts with a 3 anyway, so it's actually gone up to 5, and it's firing at the line infantry in front of it. That's probably the best we can do at this point. So that's 2 kills and also 2 retreats as well. So that wasn't too bad actually. That has blown them back. Okay, back with the Brits. Let's see what we got. Short supply, assault left flank, that may be useful. Cavalry charge, not so useful. Leadership, again, about the same. Reconning force, and scout centre. I'm going to go with reconning force this time. The way I like to play it is I like to try to get as many units moving as possible, really. So, on this side I'm going to use the I was going to use the line infantry to fire up that hill, but I'm not going to. I'm going to actually attack the French cavalry with that cavalry. There's a good chance they may take them out, because if they force them to retreat, that will kill them as well. We'll activate that line infantry to fire again at these line here, and then also, sorry, the light infantry will also move forward the line infantry down here, and they will fire uphill as well. So do them first. They're rolling a 1 because they're firing uphill and then moved. That's a kill. They're firing at the line infantry. I didn't say that, but they were. We have the light infantry. They're firing with 5 dice. Goes up to 6, back to 5 because they're firing uphill. And firing at these line infantry here. So that's 3 kills. Excellent. So that means Britain has now got themselves a victory banner. So it's 1 for 1 at this point. And then we've got the cavalry attack here. So it's only 1 dice, but they need just need 1 kill on it, really. That's a retreat. It can't retreat any further, so it has been killed. So that's wiped out that unit. So Britain has got a 2nd flag this time. And they can follow up and take ground, but if they do, there's a good threat that these might come. And attacking up that hill, they're not going to be able to attack up the hill with one unit, so they're going to stay where they are. And then that's probably the better part of valour at this point. La Balle Francais, scout right flank, attack right flank, assault right flank, probe right flank, and attack the left flank. Finally, something on the left flank. So we're going to use that one because that seems the most obvious one to use. Activate them to shoot there, activate them to shoot at them, and attack with the light cavalry. We'll bring them up here just in case they're forced to retreat. So we'll do the light infantry firing. They get 1 extra dice because they're light infantry, so they get 2 dice, and they've killed it. So that's another French victory. So they're on 2 for 2 at the moment. We've got the line infantry. They don't get any special when they're firing, so they just roll 4 dice, but that's 3 kills. That's a pretty meaty hit on those. And we've got the light cavalry. They're firing, attacking in melee. They cause no casualties, so the light cavalry get to fight back, and they kill 1. So not so good. The French light cavalry aren't really doing the job that they're supposed to be. Okay, Britain again. Scout the centre, cavalry charge, leadership, short supply, assault the left flank, and flank attack. That could be quite useful, I think, the flank attack. Or would it be better if we went with the left flank, with the assault left flank? Bit of a tricky one, this. Flank attack is probably the best, I think, at this point. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to attack the light cavalry. I'm going to bring down the line infantry of the Portuguese. They will stop and fire, and I'll also move that leader in with that unit as well so they can mix. So the firing over here, we're starting with 5 dice because they're British line infantry. They're -1 though because they're firing uphill. So we need quite a few hits here. Only 1 though, but it has reduced that unit. We've also got this attack here on the French cavalry. That's a kill on the French cavalry. They do get a battle back, and that's a miss. That French cavalry is doing particularly badly in this battle. Let's see where we're at with the French. So we have scout left flank, attack right flank, assault right flank, scout right flank, and probe right flank. As the Brits are getting close, I'm going to play the probe the right flank and do some firing down on those as they're coming in. At range 2, the artillery fire on 3 dice. So we'll do that. We've got the line infantry as well. They're going to fire on 2 dice, so we'll try them first of all. So that's 1 kill, and the 3 dice from the artillery. That's 2 retreats and a kill. So that sends them scuttling back. Not so bad that. Let's see what Old Nosy can do. Leadership, cavalry charge, short supply, assault left flank, kind of looking at that one, scout centre, and scout the left flank. Oh, a bit of a tough one this. We could always do some firing with the light infantry or bring forward some more of these units in the centre. I'm going to use this one, the assault left flank, because it's never going to get better than it is now. So that gets to move 2 units. So we'll bring these forward and then bring them forward with their leader. If we keep up the pressure on that French left flank, because we've already weakened that unit there, that's probably the best thing to do. But now the French. Assault the right flank, scout the right flank, scout the left flank, attack the right flank, and attack the left flank. Let's have a look, let's have a think. This is a bit of a toughie, this one. It's either a toss-up between, well, it's got to be the right or the left flank. Right flank is out of range for infantry fire, unfortunately. So we're going to go with scout the left flank, and these are going to fire, I think. So careful, you don't really want to use up the cards that have got a lot of units in them at this point. I just don't want to waste them. So we're firing with the line infantry, they're firing down the light infantry. Let's see what they can do. That's 2 kills. So that's another victory banner for the French. They're now on 3. So that was probably the best thing they could do at that point. And again, back to Britain. Scout the left flank, short supply, scout the centre, leadership, cavalry charge, and attack right flank. Oh, let's go with attack the right flank, I think. No. Scout the left flank. So we'll just issue 1 order. That'll be these. They'll move forward, so they get into a firing position at least. And then they fire uphill, rolling 1 dice. And it is a kill. So that was pretty useful at least. I can't believe how close this is at the moment. So the French, anyway, we've got the attack the left flank, attack the right flank, assault the right flank, scout the right flank, or coordinated advance. You see, that might be a bit of a waste if I play that. It would give me some good grounding on both sides, but I kind of don't really want to throw it away because there's a lot of units used in that one. So I'm either going to keep up the pressure on the left or the right, I think. Let's go with scout the right, no, assault the right flank and get these shooting down. So we've got the artillery. We said at that range they are rolling 3 dice. We've also got the infantry as well firing, so I'll do the artillery first. That's 2 kills. And then your infantryman is going to fire. He's just firing 1 dice. That's another kill. Wow, that was good. That has definitely weakened them. Rightio, the allies really need to step up here a little bit, so let's have a look. We've got scout the centre, attack the right flank, maybe useful, leadership, cavalry charge, short supply, and attack centre. I really wanted something on the left flank, because that's where some of the weakened units are. Let's go with the right flank, I think, and start bringing some of these down. So they're going to attack them. The Portuguese line will move forward. And I will also bring forward the artillery. Put them there, then I can decide which way they're going to go. Not really commit them down either side of those. So the infantry can't do anything, but the cavalry can. So they're attacking. That's a kill, so at least they were right to do that. That's another banner, so 3-all at the moment. This is going to probably go down to the wire, I think. Britain's doing a lot better than they did in the first Roliça scenario. Right, let's see what the Frenchman's got. Scout the right flank, coordinated advance again, attack the right flank again, attack the left flank and rally. Roll battle dice equal to the command, the number of cards, so 5. For each infantry, cavalry or artillery assault rolled, 1 block of this type is returned to any under strength unit anywhere on the battlefield. A unit may not gain more blocks than it originally had. Right, well we are pretty weakened on 2 of these. So is it worthwhile getting a couple more units in? There's nothing else they've got. No, we will scout the right flank instead and fire down with the artillery at that British unit there. I think that's probably the best thing to do, is try to get some of these banners. That is a kill. So we roll again to see if the leader is killed. Yes, he is. He's actually killed as part of that. They don't get a victory banner for that, but they certainly get a victory banner. So now they're on 4. Just had a very quick check of the rules. The leader has been killed. That means that the French also get a victory banner for that. So the French have actually won. I didn't realise it, but they've won 5-3. So again, another French victory. They're doing all right so far. But I hope you enjoyed watching that. That was a very quick game of commands and colours. The next one's going to be a bit of a bigger scenario at least, but this one was a fun little game. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed playing it. And if you have, please hit subscribe. Enjoy the rest of this series as they get produced. And thanks for watching.